Hi everybody, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well despite the circumstances and perhaps even great. Today I like to go a little bit deeper and I like to talk about something that's very close to my heart, which is the topic of lovability and our inner critic. So, how do we shift that inner critical voice to a voice of praise, to a feeling of lovability? Do you feel lovable? You can ask yourself. I know that there are many people around me who have had similar experiences as me. And for myself, well, to share with you, I grew up in a very critical environment where I was often compared with kids around me who did much better, who were much more doing what was expected of them. And there was often pointed out what I could have done better or what wasn't right, or, the focus was a lot on it should be this, it should be that. It was never good enough. And what happens after a while, when you hear that long enough, you start to believe it. And it starts to become your own voice. So even over time, when I grew out of that environment, I realized I basically came in a different environment with similar experiences, because the outer world was basically only reflecting my inner world. And since that voice had become my own inner voice, the people around me were still reflecting back that inner critical voice of me. So I started to realize that this was something that had to be worked on inside of me. And this brought me into studies of neuroscience, of psychology, metaphysics, etc., etc. So it's been a long journey for me, but I found some really incredible processes and tools that have had a huge impact on my life, and would happily share that with you. However, this video would become too long if I would share even one process like that with you. So I offer that to you in a one-on-one session. If you're interested, you can send me a direct message after this video and we can go over it online. And when all of this is over, perhaps even in person if you like, but definitely also online. So welcome to message me. In the meantime, I'd like to offer you a tool or a simple exercise. Well, simple, it's quite powerful. That has also been very effective for me. And so, if we take the question, how do we shift the voice of the inner critic to a voice of praise and lovability, a lovable voice? Well, basically, again, by shifting our attention and putting our focus into that, and feeding that voice. So when we make the voice of love and praise and acceptance and encouragement louder, so much louder that it starts to overrule that inner critical voice, that other voice kind of like quiets down, it disappears. We can't hear it anymore because we have put so much energy in the other voice. And how do we do that? Well, by continuously practicing that. It's continuous practice of the opposite of what we're used to. So whenever those old habits are there, when you recognize it, when you hear that voice, you can say, thank you for sharing, and then do the opposite. Thank you for sharing, but do the opposite. Thank you for sharing, do the opposite. Or not even say a word, just keep telling yourself the opposite. So you just praise yourself all the time. You say to yourself, you can do it. You can keep encouraging yourself. It's really like watering a plant. Would you rather have something spiky, hurtful, poisonous, or a beautiful flower, with beautiful fragrance that's gonna put you in a good state? Well, both are likable in their own way, but definitely the metaphor or the message behind this is, what you focus on again grows. Where I put my attention is what I get more of. And we predominantly basically just we become what we predominantly basically think about, most of the time. So if I'm going to put all my attention on the critical aspects, that's what I keep bouncing back to. So yeah, whether it's affirmations, that you write down, hang them up in your house, a couple of affirmations that you go over before you go to bed at night, put that already in your subconsciousness throughout the night, and when you wake up, you're already in that better vibration. Starting your early morning with a reminder of that, putting it in your notebook, on your computer, in your bathroom, wherever you are, put phrases of encouragement. You can even write on your mirror phrases that give you encouragement. And when you expose yourself a lot to that kind of encouragement and positivity, it will start to overrule all the negativity. Now, often I hear clients say to me, yeah, but how, I'm doing all this great inner work. I'm really investing a lot in myself by disciplining my mind. But I'm so afraid for my environment because there's so many critical people around me, and negative people even, that hold me in that space still of the past. And well, I say to them, don't worry, because once you make that conscious decision, and it can be in an instant, you can decide right now, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cultivate and do everything I can to take myself out of that negativity and stick into that positivity, and praise myself, encourage myself. And you'll start to notice that when you have an inner shift, when your inner world starts to shift, your outer world is automatically going to reflect that shift, just as much as that outer world was reflecting at you, that inner critical voice. Your environment will start to also reflect that change within. And for some people that's scary, because it also means that you will see some people leave from your surroundings, because obviously those that are still in that negative space and are still continuously complaining and criticizing and putting you down perhaps, or whatever it is that they're doing, obviously they're not intentionally doing it. It's just their own pattern and unawareness. So yeah, if perhaps you're able to inspire them, and they will shift along with you and go with you in that higher vibration, or more positive vibration. And those that are not able to do that, well, they will naturally fall away, because the thing is that negativity can't stand positivity. Hatred can't stand love. It's like a magnet with two opposite poles, like resisting. It's you'll see it. It's like it's too much. They can't handle it. So they naturally fall away, or again, they'll start to feel inspired, or start to feel they want to shift something within themselves as well. So this often happens when we start to shift. We have the capacity to inspire other people around us, and those who aren't ready, well, perhaps they need more time, and or yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is that you will not have to worry, because it's law, it's a vibrational law, and you automatically, water seeks its own level. So you will always match what you are yourself, and so you don't have to worry. Your only concern should be your inner practice and your own inner work. And if you focus on that, which gives you encouragement, if you focus on that, it makes you feel better about yourself, I assure you that your outer world will start to reflect this as well to you. The work is not over there, the work is really over here. So I hope this is helpful to you. And I work a lot with 4 basic archetypes, because I believe that when we have role models, when we have aspects that we can embrace and embody, it's more likely that we become that. So I will share a little bit about these 4 archetypes. I work with 4 basics. So the warrior, the lover, the magician, and the king. and I will go over each in a separate video, because otherwise, again, the videos will become too long. And yeah. So if you're interested in hearing more and finding aspects in these archetypes that can be of service to you in your journey of self-growth, then you are most welcome to stay tuned and follow me. Your likes and subscribes are also always very welcome. And if you have any questions, feel welcome to direct message me. I send you lots of love in the meantime. And yeah, until the next. Mwah.
I keep a photograph in which we were in love, caught in your eyes, waiting for the sunrise.